Congratulations for requesting the full private practice roadmap and training. This roadmap will appear in your email in about 10 minutes, so while you're waiting for that, watch this video so that you can really understand the whole process. In this video, I'm going to take you through the 3 exact steps that we use to help April Lyons fill her practice in a very competitive city in only 90 days. I'm going to show you April's website and her results so that you really understand how this can work for you too. My name is Becky DeGrossa, and I'm the founder of Counseling Wise. Since 2012, we've been helping therapists and coaches fill their private practices so that they can do the work they love instead of worrying about marketing. Because we have invested a lot of time and attention on what really matters and works when it comes to online marketing, we've earned the distinction of getting our clients more page 1 rankings than any other company in our industry. And in this video, I'm going to show you what we do to achieve those results. So let me dive into this case study. As you can see, we use a 3-phase, 9-step roadmap, and we've refined this over hundreds of clients. This roadmap can make therapists and coaches highly successful no matter where they live. We use this in small towns and in major cities, including San Francisco and Manhattan. The first phase of our process is the build phase, and while I'm going to cover all the steps in the training so that you understand the entire process, I'm going to focus most heavily on the build phase because it's by far the most important phase. But what's the problem anyway? Why do therapists and coaches struggle with online marketing at all? After doing this work for 4 years and working with a large variety of clients, I noticed that our most successful clients came to us after having already launched 1 to 2 websites, either on their own or with other companies. They had put a ton of time and money into trying to make their marketing work, but it hadn't worked. So when they came to us and they saw the results that we were getting, they really listened to us. But why don't they just do it right in the first place? Why do coaches and therapists struggle so much with building this? I found that there are 3 reasons. The first problem is that they don't really know what their website should do to be successful. They don't know the goal. Looking at a successful website is kind of like watching a well-done therapy or coaching session. If an uneducated outsider watched a therapist or coach working with a client, they would think that it's just 2 people in an office talking. And it would seem, well, anyone could do that. But what they wouldn't see, because they are not trained to see it, is that there is much more going on than just 2 people sitting in an office or on the phone talking. There's trust being built. There are techniques being used. Modalities are being used. Interventions are being made. Much more is going on that is totally invisible to the uneducated eye. Well, the same is true of building a client-generating online presence. There is a strategy and a goal, and most therapists and coaches are not trained to see this. The second reason that people struggle is that they feel overwhelmed by tech. Let's face it, tech is a pain. I've worked in tech my entire adult life, and it is a pain. Over time, I've learned a lot, and I can get things done faster with much less pain than most people, but still. If this is not an area that you spend a lot of time in, overwhelm and frustration are highly likely. But because of this, people look for an easy solution. They put up a GoDaddy or a Vistaprint site that they can do by themselves, or they rent from one of the $59 a month companies. They figure that if they have someone else take care of this, it will get done and they won't have to feel the tech overwhelm. But what they don't realize is that they're hiring someone who will throw up a site without the strategy piece. These companies don't guide you. They don't take the time to do the research needed for your specific practice, and you end up with a site that doesn't give you continuous phone calls. And it's no wonder that these companies don't do the work required, because doing it takes a lot of time. And there is no way that they could afford to do it for $59 a month. The third main reason that therapists and coaches struggle with online marketing is they aren't sure what they're supposed to write. Let's say that you threw up an easy site on GoDaddy or Vistaprint, or that you found someone to do the design and tech for you. All you have to do is provide the content, right? Well, most therapists and coaches have no idea what content should be written for their site. They don't know how long the pages should be, or how to write them so that people call them, or how to optimize them. Not having strong content is like having a car without an engine. Your website might look nice, but it won't do a thing for you without content written the right way. Bottom line, when it comes to websites, there is more than meets the eye. Look at this picture. Most people who see it think that it's a parrot sitting on a stick. This is actually a woman sitting on a tree stump. Up here, you can see her shoulder. Here's an elbow with her arm wrapping around her head. Here's her knee, and then she has an extended leg. Her foot is down here. Once you realize that this is not a parrot and this is a woman, you're never going to see a parrot again. And just like this picture, once you really learn what you're supposed to be doing with your website, you'll be able to look at any site and immediately see if it's going to work or not in just 30 seconds. So let's move into April's story. April was opening a practice in Boulder, Colorado. Boulder is one of the top 10 most competitive markets for therapists in the country. When she came to us, we created the website for her. We taught her all of the steps that we were doing. Now, when most people look at April's site, they don't know why she is highly successful. Her website doesn't look that special. They think, I should be able to do that, but because they don't know what to look for, they have no idea what makes this site work. They have no idea why April's website, that doesn't look that special, is enabling her to rank #1 in Boulder, a very competitive city, for the term psychotherapy. They don't understand how she ranks #2 in Boulder for PTSD treatment. The interesting thing is that Boulder is somehow a hotbed for therapy marketing companies. Therapy sites started in Boulder, and Brighter Vision is in nearby Louisville. But our clients and students are ranking on page 1. In fact, they are taking 6 spots on page 1 for PTSD treatment in Boulder, and neither therapy sites nor Brighter Vision have any spots on page 1. Those companies have sold many, many more websites than we have. I bring that up not to brag, but to stress again with this proof that how you create your website really matters. After I show you how April followed this specific process to build her thriving practice, I'm going to show you 2 options that you can use to help you do the same. So let's continue. Okay, so let's walk through the exact steps we take and what you need to do if you want to be successful. The first step is to research and claim your niche or niches. This is pivotal, and here's how to do it right. First of all, think about what you've been trained in, who and what issues you have treated either in your internship, your agency job, in your practice thus far. Who do you like working with? Take a full inventory and then look at that list and narrow this down to 6 to 8 different options. Once you have those 6 to 8 options, you need to research each one of them. What are the terms for that situation that people are typing into Google when they're looking for help? If you want to work with couples, is couples counseling the right term to use? If couples counseling is only searched 40 times a month in your city, yet marriage counseling is searched 80 times per month in your city, you should go for marriage counseling. Look at each term and see if people are actually searching for solutions for that problem. No matter how good you are at helping people, you must make sure that there are people who are searching for the topic. Well, we worked with April and went through this process, and she narrowed this down to 3 specialties for her practice. But because we did this strategically, we already knew that we were using the right terms, and we already knew that all of them had search volume. Before even starting her site, we knew ahead of time that there was demand for these services. The second step in the build phase is content. And as I said before, content is the engine of your website. Without this being done right, your site will not deliver clients to you. With our process, we take people from total confusion about what to write and how to do it to having highly engaging content on their site. When you do this the right way, you'll not only attract the people who are looking for help, but once they land on your site, your content will have a huge impact on them. And you need both. You need people to come to you, and you need to have an effect on them. That is how you get phone calls. With April, we helped her create her content the right way. Each of her specialty pages are about 1,000 words long. They are optimized around the right terms that people are searching for in Google, and they're written in a very specific way so that her website visitors pick up the phone and call her. Now, obviously, there are many more pages on April's website besides her specialty page. She has a home page, an about page, contact, terms of service, privacy policy, blogs, etc. But in this training, I'm focusing on the specialty pages because they are by far the most important to her success. Next, once your content is ready, you'll either add it to your existing website if you have one that's already built correctly, or you'll build a new website the right way. On your own, you have to decide which platform to use. Do you go with Squarespace, WordPress, Wix, Weebly, Site Builder, iPage, One-on-One, Adobe Muse, Vistaprint, GoDaddy? We recommend either Squarespace or WordPress for 3 reasons. 1, each of these platforms have really good SEO. 2, they both have built-in blogs. And 3, they both enable you to set up a blog silo structure that will help you rank. Now, Therapy Sites finally has a built-in blog, as best I can tell, but they do not have the ability to set up a blog silo, and they don't teach you how to do anything right anyway. Now, Brighter Vision does use WordPress, but as shown by the total lack of page 1 rankings they have, you can see that they don't do things the right way. So just know that just choosing a company that does it in WordPress is not enough. You still need to set up your site the right way. So again, here's April's site, the top part of it anyway. And even though her site may not look special, everything was done with care. These things really matter. You need to make sure that your website header is right, your navigation bar is right, homepage layout is right, amount of text on the homepage is right, your footer content is set up. You must have a privacy policy and a terms of use page. The topics you cover in your blogs have to be right. Where your blogs go on your site makes a big difference. You have to design your contact page in a certain way, and you need to have your Google map on your contact page. April has all this visibility because her site is built the right way. Okay, so that is the build phase. That is the all-important foundation. Now I'm going to go through the remaining 2 phases so that you know what our process tends to after the website is launched. The first step in the boost phase is to create or modify your Google My Business listing. Making sure that your GMB listing is right can help you rank in the Maps section at the top of the page. This is the Maps section, and as you can see, April is ranking there. Next, we focus on directories. It doesn't matter if you're in directories now or not. We'll teach you how to know which directories will serve you best, and there are some very non-obvious things to consider here. We'll also teach you how to write your directory content correctly. And finally, the last step in the boost stage is to create a strong citation footprint. Most people have a conflicting or incomplete citation footprint, and after this step, you'll have a strong targeted footprint that will help you rank in Google. Now, many people don't even know what citations are. So here are some examples of common citations. And there are 2 things that you should pay attention to. 1, you want to be listed on specific citation sites. And 2, you want your name, address, and phone to be consistent between your website and every citation site you're on. Now we'll move to the breakthrough phase. In this phase, you'll learn how to take your site from what is called a thin content site to a rich content site. You'll also learn what the heck your blogs should be about and exactly how to write them. With our system, blogs are created and placed very specifically to not only get you to rank, but also to keep people on your site longer so that they can see your value more clearly. In the next step in the breakthrough phase, you'll go from somewhat visible to highly visible. You can do this via social media posting, and if you need it due to really high competition in your city, you can do it via paid traffic. The most common paid traffic sources include Google AdWords and Facebook. One note about Google AdWords that most people don't know. In order for it to work and to be worth the money, you must have the foundation laid. So all of the work we did in the build phase, you need to have that in place before doing Google AdWords. We have people coming to us every week saying they've heard that Google AdWords works well for one of their peers, but they can't get it to work. This is usually because their foundation wasn't laid correctly. And one thing to note is this. In a very competitive city, it's going to take you time to rank organically. In April's case, she began getting calls from her organic ranking, but at the beginning there weren't enough. Of course, Boulder's competitive. So we did a Google AdWords campaign for her to get her practice built more quickly, but it wouldn't have worked if the build phase hadn't been done right. Finally, you need to do ongoing tracking of your results. We suggest a monthly tracking process. Monthly tracking lets you go from being clueless about what is working to bring you clients to knowing exactly what is working so that you can cut out the time wasters and do more of what's working. For all of the sites that we create, and for all of the folks we coach on how to create their own sites, we suggest getting Google Analytics installed as soon as the site goes live. This will enable you to make decisions based on actual data, and that's important. So that is our entire roadmap. These are the exact steps we use to help hundreds of therapists and coaches fill their private practices and never have to worry about them dwindling because they always have new clients coming their way. So what's the next step for you? If you want to learn how we can work with you to put these methods in place for your practice, the next step is a quick strategy call so I can uncover if and how I can help you get this done in the next 60 to 90 days. If you currently have 5 clients minimum and you want to find the best way to scale up to 20 to 25 clients, this is who we work with. That is what we do. If that's you, then get on my calendar. Now, if you're just starting out in your practice and you don't have money to pay for someone to help you fast track this, then we have another option for you. I mentioned that we build sites for people and we also coach folks on how to do it on their own the right way. Private Practice University is where we take people through this whole process so they can do it on their own. This enables them to get their practices started, to start making money, and then if they need more help later, they can come to us for additional help. So no matter where you are, we have a clear next step to get you to the next level. If you have more time than money right now, then go to privatepractice.university and learn how to do this with our support. Again, if you already have a practice started or if you have financial resources, then jump on a call with me to see if I can help you. During this call, we'll uncover the missing pieces in your roadmap and pinpoint exactly what needs to be done so that you can get your practice filled with your ideal clients. For some of you, you will need changes to your existing website. For others, you'll need a brand new website. Go to the link now. There'll be a few questions for you to answer to make sure that you're a good fit for us and that we can help you. If you're not a good fit for our expertise, then we'll be able to point you to other resources for you to consider. Go ahead and schedule a call with me below, and I look forward to talking with you.